Evening, people. How are we all doing? Just do a quick little soundbite on this. Have a quick little check right here. Let's have a quick look. Make sure everything sounds just okay. Let's have a check on my end. Bear with me. All right. The ads are definitely playing. Give me a sec. All right. How does that sound? All right. The ads are definitely playing. Okay. Boom. Give me a sec. Yes, we are live. We are live. Oh, people, it's been a while. It's been a while. We have to, as I always say, right, when we do them here, it's never quite as straightforward as when I'm back home in Dublin. Never quite as straightforward. So we have to, we have to look at said pick on screen. Look at that. My beard is actually kind of getting, my beard is more ginger, but it's kind of getting not far off from that, isn't it, people? Isn't it? Sounds good. Yep. Mic works a hell of a lot better on the laptop than it does on the iPhone. I've noticed that. It's a pain because I know what the problem is with the mic, and you know when I do my normal videos right here in the flat, I know what the problem is with the mic. The problem is every single time I've tried to get it fixed, I've always been told, "Oh, you need this," and then and not that they don't, well, they don't have, but I have to wait another month. So I went and I have to get it in Dublin. So I went back to get it back in, I think it was July, and they were like, "Come in August," and then I went in August, and they said, "Come back in September." So I'm going home next Friday evening. So I'm hoping on Saturday to go, and I won't know until I get back to London the following week. Well, that Tuesday, if it's worked or not. So fingers crossed, people, but we're going in the right direction. And I know it works a lot better on the laptop, so it's going to sound, I actually can't believe how that sounded so nice, didn't it? Listen. Yeah, that sounds so clear, doesn't it? It sounds so clear. When it works, it's just, why can't I always do that? Why can't I always do that? But topic of tonight's live, and I know it's been a while since we've done a just topical live. I think topical live. We're talking about boxing subjects, but it's been a while, hasn't it? I've been slacking a lot on the lives. I've been slacking a lot on the lives probably the last year, really, haven't I? Apart from live watch alongs, I don't do as many of these as I probably really should. But we are back tonight. It's going to be good fun. I made sure to free up as much space as I could on a Wednesday. What day am I on? Wednesday, so we could do this. And yeah, we can interact. It's been a while. Big up to Bill. Usyk injured. That's fine. He's not. Fury is not a chancer. So you say Usyk is injured, fine, but so I'm guessing you don't want to see the Fury trilogy fight. I can't blame you on that one, mate. Can't blame you on that one, mate. A big up to bed. How are you, man? How are you keeping, mate? How are you keeping? Haven't had a live in a while. You know what, right? It's been a while since I've done one just purely like this. And I have to say, right, although I love doing the watch alongs and I enjoy doing them home, these ones in the flat are so much flipping easier because I'm not using an iPhone, I'm using the laptop, and I can just use the mouse. I can click on different tabs. It's like, oh my God, why can't it always be this flipping easy? Because StreamYard on the phone is just, ugh. A big up to Adam every time. You're always there, man, with the 50 quid. Appreciate that greatly, wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. I hope you're keeping well, man. How are you, man? Hope all is good on your end. Thank you so much for the 50 quid. Always looking out for the channel. Always looking after us over there, man. It doesn't go unnoticed. I thank you so much. Quick one is actually, while I have you all here, right? All 43 of you, right? Who's going to the live show tomorrow? So, like, I'll ask that question a couple of times when we get more people in. But as of right now, right, 45 people, who's going to Ade's live tomorrow? Because obviously I'm going to be there. Me and Ade are going to be doing a Q&A session at it. So, and I come to find out that Ade was saying you can have a beer when you're sat on stage. I was like, yep, I will have a beer when I'm sat on stage. Because I'm not going to lie, people. I ain't going to lie. It was really last week when I seen the venue. We didn't go to it directly. We just seen the video clips of it, where it kind of did hit us a little bit. I was like, oh, this is actually happening. And I think Ade was the same. And it was like, oh, this is actually genuinely happening. And we're like, how many people are there? 250. It's like, oh, it's quite a few. That's quite a few. Big up to Reese. But yeah, be interesting to know who is going to be there tomorrow. Because I'd be happy to go and have a chat with whoever. I think well, I'm pretty sure it's backstage first. I have to be there for just after 6, and then it goes live 7, I think. Yeah, I think it goes live at 7. I have to be there just after 6. So it'll be interesting to see who's going, man. Can't wait for Parker Wardley. I mean, we haven't had the official announcement, but I, I wouldn't be ruling it out. Put it like that. Sounds good. Thank you. Usyk is too good for everyone. That's the problem. There's definitely going to be a style there that he will come up against that he won't be able to deal with, but we just haven't seen it yet. I struggle to think who it would be, to be honest with you. When I look at, like, someone said to me in a live, oh God, months ago now, I think it was. It was definitely in London. It might have been about 2 or 3 months ago. Someone said, who would I confidently pick throughout the course of boxing history? Who would I confidently pick over Usyk? And my answer was no one. Would I pick fighters over Usyk? Yeah, I would. There are fighters I look at and think, yeah, you probably could beat him. But is there anyone I would look at and definitively say, you beat Oleksandr Usyk? No. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. No. That's just how good and how talented he is. Chat would be interested in, yeah, that's a decent show, actually. Most of the time we're hearing that he is back. He is back in December 13th, apparently, in Manchester. So you'd imagine he'd be headlining. You would imagine anyway. Well, he definitely have to be headlining. So that would actually be a good show, actually. That wouldn't be a bad show at all. The problem is, though, right, is that Atoma is way more talented than Fabio Wardley. I don't think he'd be outboxed as easily. And I wonder how Justice Hooney is going to be, because losing a fight, not just by a one-punch knockout, but to be winning it handily. Oh, man. World of Bob. The mic is sounding a lot better, isn't it? It's sounding a lot better. I know what the problem is. Like, the normal one is not great. It doesn't help that this room is echoey. I was going to swear there, but no, we have the stream monetized. But it doesn't help that the room is echoey. So I know what the problem is. Every time I've tried to get the piece to fix it, the flipping place I go to back home doesn't flip and have it. So I know they'll definitely have it this time when I go next time. So I know we're good. And big up to Lawrence every time. How are you, man? Hope you're keeping well. I think Usyk is legit injured, but I'd love to know who Usyk really wants to fight. So would I, actually. For me, just to know kind of what he's planning and just what is the actual goal for Oleksandr Usyk, because he's done everything. So he doesn't need to do anything else. But what are you actually looking to do next? Like, who do you want to fight next? Who are you planning on fighting next? That to me is the interesting one. Because if he says Fury, I mean, like, I can't, man. I can't do that fight again. It was it was amazing, the first one. The first one was amazing. The fight, the build up, everything was just on another level. Because it was something that a lot of us fans, I mean, even people who are a lot older than me, probably never really got to experience. Like, if you were born in, say, like 1980, you might have got to experience Lewis versus Holyfield. You might have. But, like, you might not have been into boxing at the time. So for a lot of people, this could have been their first ever undisputed fight. And it was for heavyweight. And it was phenomenal. The build up, everything. And the fact that the fight delivered as well was just the icing on the cake. I did see that. It is interesting. I don't know who he's going to go with. But immediately when I saw that, my first thought was maybe Tony Sims. Because he seems to be just taking all these matchroom fighters and just kind of, he is the matchroom trainer, so to speak. So I kind of thought about that. There's apparently he's going to be fighting Echo Usman. It's a good fight. Echo Usman can have a good fight with anybody pretty much. So, I mean, I don't know about Jack Cattrall, Echo Usman. I mean, he beat a shot to bits Josh Taylor. That's the only thing. Why are people ignoring mandatory fights just because of money? If you're the man with the belts, should be all comers, shouldn't it? Yeah. I've said this before. Usyk has to shoulder some of the blame with the situation with the mandatories, because he signed a rematch clause for the Joshua fight, which he wasn't obliged to do. Fury did it in the past with Klitschko. That's why when he got stripped for not fighting Glachislav Vasov or something his name was, way back in the day. You couldn't really have much sympathy for him because he wasn't obliged to sign the rematch clause. And now rematches just generate so much money. You see, especially if a fight is big and it does good, like Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr., is it a fight that we really desperately need again? Not really. But it draws and generates so much money that you'd be a fool not to, you know? Big up to Anthony YouTube. Massive shout out to Reese every time. I know it's Usyk's focused. Well, he's always focused, man. There's never any doubt about that. I can see Usyk fighting Moses next. I can't. And you know what? I think if they offered Moses the fight, I think he'd take it. But truthfully, in my opinion, I don't think I think even he himself knows, right? Look, if you offer me to fight against Usyk, I will take it. I will, I back myself. I believe in myself. But I don't think he would. I don't think he necessarily, not that he doesn't want the fight, but I think he would rather just go on his own path rather than go straight in with Usyk. But in other news, he has left Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis. Wonder where he goes. Yeah, I'm speculating maybe Tony Sims into the team matchroom or something like that. It's just out of left field, though. It's very rare you see a fighter leave a trainer who's been on a good run of form. And they had a good relationship and they seem to have split amicably. But it's very seldom. It's very seldom you see a fighter leave a trainer when they're on a good run of form. And I guess you could say Jack Catterall did lose this year, so I guess you can't really say it's that good of a run of form, but you know what I mean. It is a bit on the strange side. You'll be at the show, mate. Definitely, I will do my best to meet as many as I can. It's going to be good fun, man. It's going to be great fun. You can't go, man, I would love to have seen you, man. I would love to have. Definitely, eventually, man, 110%, 110%. I'm looking forward to it. And by the way, there's 55 in the building. If you haven't already, do please hit the like button. I want to get the numbers up. What can I say? I want to get the numbers up in the live. Lives have been weird lately. I see it with Ade, I see it with Hatman, I see it with others. Lives on YouTube, they don't do the views that they once did, or not views, concurrent viewers they once did. I remember having like 6,000 and I could pull 100 live viewers. I wouldn't want to say no problem, but it certainly wasn't a slug. Nowadays, it's like I get the good numbers on the watch alongs, but on the main, it's one of the reasons kind of why I don't do them as much, because you don't really it's weird. They used to be like the lives used to always get like into the hundreds, and now you're like, if I get 100 viewers at once, I'm like, well, hey, that's pretty good. It's weird. I don't get it, because it's like that with others. Because like Ade at one stage, I think when Ade had a channel kind of my size, he was doing like 200, 300 viewers. And he's still kind of doing that now with like 100,000. It's weird. Moses Hooney. Thoughts on the Mick Conlon Tree Arena this Friday? Tickets done well. Yeah, they did do well. I think Conlon's family, I'm not sure on which side. Probably, I think on the mother's side. I think the mother's side are originally from Dublin. I think on the mother's side, they were originally from Dublin. So I think that's one of, and he's well known in Ireland. So I think there's a variety of reasons why it's done well. It's actually a decent show, to be fair. Like Ireland, I'll give them all the credit in the world, right? The Irish shows over the last couple of years, because there was a time in Ireland where they did small hall shows and they were just ridiculous. I actually, for my sins, I went to one and they wouldn't do, if they did a domestic fight, it was rare. Now they're always doing them. But if they did a domestic fight back in the day, it was rare. They used to get these absolute just journeymen. You wouldn't even feed them to prospects on a Matchroom Queensbury or Boxer show. That's how bad they were. And it was just like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, you're not building the sport when you're just putting these little crap shows on. And what they've started doing, like a lot of those promoters have gone, they've died out. Not literally, of course, their companies have. And now they've replaced them with like, Jay Byrne and other people like that, Mick Conlon. And the quality is just so much better. It's just so much better. We're seeing domestic fights. We're seeing broadcasters like DAZN have done a couple of just independent Irish shows and stuff like that. It's just so much better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Mick Conlon's show on Friday. I won't be attending, obviously, but I will be watching. And hope you're well. May pick up the Jordan every time, man. Jordan Perry, can't wait for Canelo Crawford next week. Oh, wow. I actually think Crawford stops a washed Canelo. Man, that is I'm going to hold you to that, man. I'm gonna hold you to that prediction. By the way, I don't think that. I don't think that. Kendall, big up to you. G Man, you're a legend. Give me a shout out, please. Absolutely. Is it Kean Dell? I think, is it? I hope I'm getting it right, man. But big up, massive shout out to Kean Dell every single time. You say I'm a legend, you are, man. Thank you so much for viewing. I appreciate it. Commenting everything, man. It means the world. R.I.P. Wig. R.I.P. Wig. I'm never gonna go down. I know it's bad, but it ain't that bad. You know that. You got to make a joke about yourself now and again. I'm talking about me, by the way. Any good shows in York Hall or Bethnal Green? York Hall is in Bethnal Green. Coming up, how much are the cheapest tickets? Would you take a girlfriend there? I wouldn't personally. Not because I'll give you an example. I'll give you a reason why I wouldn't take a girl there, right? And this is me, right? It's not the same to you. If I was dating a girl, that's between me and her. I keep it private, right? It wouldn't be on Instagram. It wouldn't be on the YouTube. It wouldn't be anywhere, right? So the last thing I want to do, right, is go to a place, because I've gone to small hall shows and I've had people come to me, and not to say I don't like it. I do. I love it. I appreciate it. But it's still, if I'm on a date with a girl and we're at a boxing event, I don't want people, coming up and saying, "Oh, are you with Ting?" And it just, for me, I'd like it just to be between us, right? Having said that, if I wasn't doing YouTube, if I didn't go on camera and anything like that, yeah, I would 100%. I would 100%. Because my way of looking at it would be, if you want me to go somewhere with you that I don't particularly want to go, then ditto, it goes both ways. So that would be my way of doing it. I would take her to, well, if you want to go to the Matchroom show, Kieran Conway is fighting George Liddard in the York Hall on October 17th. I probably will go to that one myself, actually, because it's quite a decent scrap. But if you go on BoxRec, you'll always find shows in the York Hall. Actually, do you know what? I'll do it for you while I'm here. I'll go into the York Hall BoxRec. Now, some of them, in fairness, you really wouldn't have heard of, to be honest with you. But it doesn't mean it's bad, right? And the York Hall, there's a show with I can't remember the name of it. It's a managerial company. They actually follow me on Instagram. Oh lordy, I think they go on YouTube. Ali Drew was the host for them, actually. Lordy, I can't remember their name. But they do a lot of shows on a Sunday. And it's actually a good show on the York Hall coming up the end of the month. It'll be actually on BoxRec. I'll have a quick check. I hope this doesn't mess the stream up, because even when I look at other websites, it can be slow as anything. Lerone Richards actually is fighting Dylan Courtney in the York Hall on Friday, February 26th. What a fall from grace that's been. He was a Matchroom fighter on Joseph Parker's undercard at one stage. And now he's fighting on the York Hall in a 6-rounder in Bethnal Green, having just recently lost. It's bugging me now what that managerial, well, it's a promotional company as well, what it was called. There's a show on the Saturday. Yeah, there's always shows in the York Hall, man. So it's always worth going in. But just in response to your question, if I was seeing a girl, I probably wouldn't bring her to it. If she wanted to go, I'd go. Yeah. If she said, like, all right, let's go to a boxing show together, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But personally, for me, that's lagging a bit, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, it's lagging a bit because I used another tab. It's weird the way. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, me personally, I wouldn't. But just in my situation, if I wasn't in my situation, yeah, I absolutely would. You've seen no. Yeah, March sounds about right for me. It won't be straight after Christmas, and it won't be this year, but I reckon you'll probably hit the nail on the head. March, April next year. Oh, good lord. Yeah. Well, see, you say he stopped Pulev early. I don't know about that. You see, Pulev is just so wily. Against Klitschko, he fought very recklessly. In fact, if you think about it, his 2 losses with Chisora, he was over the hill. He's always fought recklessly, but he's normally a bit of a spoiler. Pulev, if you see him, he can stink the place out real good. Usyk needs to start talking and stop something and give up some belts. Well, that's how I feel. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, right? I don't. If you have all those belts, right? If you've all those belts, you've got obligations. You can't just shy away from them just because, you can't shy away. G-Man, Baz Newton, 1989. The opinion Dwyer. Oh, I know. I've watched Dwyer for many, many, many years. I have seen some of Dwyer's picks just stick with you, don't they? Some of his videos, they just stick with you. I distinctly remember Joe Joyce versus Joe Hanks. I like Joe Hanks. And if you can't tell, that was me trying to do a Dwyer impression and failing spectacularly. But man, he's a ledge. Richard Dwyer, ledge, absolute ledge. And I remember a Coley mentioned him when he won the WBO title. So, I mean, he's reached people. He certainly has. I haven't really given it much thought, to be honest with you, man. I haven't given that one much thought. Can't be Fury, surely not. You would hope not, man. You would hope not. But I think at the end of the day, right, Oleksandr Usyk is at a point in his career where he knows he's probably one and done. And if you think about it like this, right, if the Saudis come with just an insane amount of money, he'll probably just say, yeah, to hell with it. He probably will. We don't need Fury Usyk 3, and we don't need Ben Eubank 2. The problem is, right, both those fights are huge fights. So the promoters, the matchmakers, everyone involved will say, yep. I think Michael Hunter will be a good test for a Athelma skill-wise. Yeah, that's actually a decent shout. The problem with Michael Hunter is that he's not the Michael Hunter of a few years ago. And that's the problem. You know, if we had the Michael Hunter of 2020, 2019, I probably would be saying, yikes. I probably would be saying that's probably too risky. That's probably just too much of a jump. Don't have that. We don't have it. You know, we don't have that. And Michael Hunter is he's a frustrating figure. He is. He's a frustrating one, man. It's very frustrating, Michael Hunter. That would be actually a decent scrap. I'd watch that. Hrgovic versus Ajagba. I really would. I'd actually watch that. By the way, people, if you could just keep smashing the like button. We want to get those likes up. We want to get people in. We want to get more of what we got to do. Yeah, Klitschko started with them. You see, he went through a stage where it was a weak division. You had guys who didn't deserve shots, and he was just having a field day. Just having a flipping field day. That's what Klitschko was doing. Athelma isn't ready for Usyk, but Frank wants the money. He does, but he's not so. You see, he's not as starved for it as he was a couple of years ago. So I don't think he'd do it. I think he'd leave it. The cut was too bad, I think, for that. To be honest with you, I agree, but I think the cut was just a bit too bad. Yeah, I actually need to do a video on that because I seen the rumor mill fights. Doesn't look that bad. Doesn't actually look that bad. No. No, man. No. Sold Acres. No. I would not be putting them in with Daniel Dubois. I would not be doing that, man. I will admit Soul Acres looked decent in his last fight. He was knocked out spectacularly by David Adelaide. I wouldn't do it myself personally. Put him in with Daniel Dubois. No way. Big up to Ryan. How are you, my friend? What do you think of Ade's comments on Oleksandr Usyk, pound for pound #1? Been listening since Hatman Strikes Back. Shouted you out years ago, and that was years ago. Holy crap, man. You're talking, what, 2020, 2021? That's a long time ago. Jeez, man, thank you. And thank you for the £5. I appreciate that, man. £5 in London, it will help me. Believe me, it does. It genuinely does. Because anything like that, it's like, you know what? It's something. Every little bit helps. I believe Usyk is pound for pound #1. I think that if Crawford goes up to 168 pounds and beats Canelo, I think we can definitely have conversations and say maybe Alvarez or maybe Crawford should be pound for pound #1. But I think for Usyk to do what he's done in the land of giants, it's just and to do it when he's been the away fighter. Because if you think about it like this, Crawford, with the exception of maybe Spence, he's normally always the house fighter. Usyk is always going into their backyards. He doesn't complain. He doesn't want to give at it in a way. Just, yep, give me the gloves and I'm ready to fight. It's different gravy. So I would have Oleksandr Usyk firmly #1. But if Crawford wins, we'll have to talk about it. Big up to Ben. How are you, man? YouTube don't push the notifications like they used to. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because, as I said, like, I mean, you go back like 2 or 3 years ago, and actually, it's funny. It's kind of swapped because 2 or 3 years ago, like watch alongs would they get decent traction, and the market wasn't as oversaturated with them. But they didn't do like baseball numbers. Now they're the bread and butter of lives. They do crazy views, whereas the regular lives, which used to do good views, they just kind of like I see it. That's one of the reasons why Ade doesn't do as many of them anymore. Hatman's lives for a channel as big as his, you're like 200, 300 on a good day. You're like, it should be. Do you remember when Tyen Boot used to do lives? And bear in mind, at the time, we couldn't see his subscribers, but he had actually similar subscriber count to myself now. And he'd have over 1,000 people at one stage. Just before we started getting real weird, he'd have over 1,000 people at one stage in his lives. It was crazy. So yeah, I think YouTube just don't seem to push them out as much really these days as they used to. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't do as many, because I love getting like a live and being like, oh wow, there's like 100 people in the chat and this, that, and the other. And then you're kind of like, no offense, I love seeing anyone, I love interacting with you guys, but then you're like 60, 70, you're like, what the hell? There was like 100 people this time last year. You're like, what's going on here? And I think you're right. It's probably just YouTube to just don't prioritize the lives the way that they used to. Because back in a couple of years ago, back 3 or 4 years ago, the lives were where it was at. Some people would do lives before they'd even do a video. I think I did it a few times, did lives before you did a video, because you're like, all right, they just want a live reaction. If anyone fights Usyk other than Parker or Caballel, it's a disgrace. I tend to agree with you on that one, to be honest with you. Unless someone has actually gone out and earned it, like say someone does fight a Caballel and beats them, I'd be like, yeah, fine, fair enough. Yeah, I wouldn't do Adeleye versus Darcy's, man. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't do that. Have you heard any rumors of any big fights that might be announced? Not really, to be honest with you, man. Not really. No, honestly, no, I haven't. And I have heard rumors in the past, like not now, not in the recent like times, obviously, but I've heard rumors. Like, I mean, I knew about the April card with Frank Warren and Queensbury before it was announced. I knew about a couple of cards before it was announced. I'm not going to do videos on it, obviously, until it's announced, because I'm told that in confidence and good faith, and I don't want to abuse that. But yeah, I haven't heard anything actually. Really, it's kind of a quiet patch. I've got a pretty penny down on a draw. You know what? I don't disagree with you. Actually, sometimes it's worth just slapping a fiver on a draw. That's just worth it, especially a fight that you look and you think maybe. Oh, Baz will be there tomorrow, man. Looking forward to the live meet up with Ade. You going to be there tomorrow? Because I certainly will. We will be hosting a Q&A session, by the way. So if anyone is just coming into the building, who will be attending tomorrow's live with Ade? Because obviously I'm one of the guests. We'll be doing it at A&G, man. We'll be talking over some boxing news and then doing a Q&A. So who is going to be there? I'd love to meet up with some of you guys. If you're in the chat now, just say yes or no. Let us know, because I'd love to know. It's going to be good fun. Give me Richard Torres versus Fabio after Parker. You might get that. Oh yeah, I have heard about that. Absolved of any wrongdoing. Ah dear. And the B sample said the same. I what can you say? I just don't know what more to say on that. I don't know. If they fail and we do nothing and we absolve them after a while, I mean, like, if you think about it in boxing, when do you ever really see any true justice? Hardly ever. People say, oh, Miller served the ban. Miller had half of Colombia in him and he's still fighting. There you go. Oh man, there's so many pics of Usyk fighting, or Usyk dancing, and he is hilarious. I just find myself watching some of his, even just him at press conferences where he's saying, don't push the horses and other things. He's just hilarious. Like, he literally just kills them with humor. And sometimes I'd say in some cases it is intentional, but sometimes you can tell that's not intentional. He is just hilarious. It's just phenomenal sometimes. I love Dwyer, but he takes forever to get to a point. Sometimes he does that long intro, and he talks about the odds, and I don't like the odds. They're basically giving away money. How about a baseball pitcher injured and isn't concerned about Joseph Parker? And Joseph Parker fighting, well, yeah, Fabio Wardley. Let's just say it. Um, that's going to kick the can down the road. I think the reason he fights music Moses is Turkey will put money on the table. True, that's actually a good point. And for both guys, as you say it, Frank Warren, if many figures were down, Frank could be like, "Yep." Michael Hunter was a joke. Imagine signing with Don King. I know it's like it's like a tree is known by its fruits. Don King. I mean, like it's actually crazy that a man can be that infamous and people still sign with him. It's actually I just can't believe it. Yeah, and what good did that do? It didn't do him any good. It literally did him no good. It did him no good. He signed away his career, and it literally came back to bite him in the ass spectacularly. So that's an interesting shout. Wouldn't rule that out actually. Now that you mention it, why is Caballel blacklisted from Oleksandr Usyk? Only heavyweight fight that matters, in my opinion. I think it's because even Parker brings more eyes than Caballel. I can't see anyone wanting to go ahead with that fight, Usyk, whoever, because it just doesn't bring anything to the table. About really not happy about that. I wonder if Frank Warren is getting a bit peeved off with a certain member of Team Dubois, not Daniel. Hey, G man, prime for prime. Who would have won out with the Klitschko's? And if they hadn't been brothers, I would say that as I think Vitali would have been too big, would have had that big bro advantage. I think that Vladimir was the better of the two in terms of he had more ability, but I'd always pick Vitali to be Vlad because he was the fighter. He had the better chin. He wasn't as big a puncher. He wasn't as naturally gifted, but he was the fighter. And I don't think I think he would have broke Vladimir down, probably would have beaten him mentally as well as physically, and just stopped him probably mid to late rounds. I don't think he would have beaten him, quite frankly. I'd watch it. Don't know if we'd necessarily get it next, but I'd certainly watch it. I'd make Adji Caballel favor. Big up to Ian. How are you, man? How are you? F1 question, right? F1 question. We all know McLaren will be number one this year. Did you expect Piastri though to be the one leading? I mean, McLaren have everything to get Norris to the title. Yes, quite frankly, I did expect Oscar Piastri to be the leader this season. I've said it over the years on lives because obviously, as many of you know, and it was a great race. It was a phenomenal race on Sunday, wasn't it? I thoroughly enjoyed it. Zandvoort can be either brilliant or horrible. It's normally brilliant. Yeah, so long and the short of it, right? I always found Oscar Piastri to be talented. I've seen him since the junior days. And for me, right, I looked at him early on in his F1 career and I was thinking, okay, you're in with Norris, who's experienced, he knows what he's doing. Give him a bit of time and he'll be the better of the two. I think his ceiling is higher. I've always felt Norris is a bit of a man-child. I've always felt that he is too emotional and that he has limitations there as a driver. He definitely does. So for me, it was a real case of, all right, he's going to win this. And I think he will win the championship. I do. I like him. I do. I think he'll win the championship this season. And I'm not in the least bit surprised. I am surprised, though, with the way, and there's just some idiot who was talking absolute nonsense there. So see you later. I think that he'll win the championship this season. I think he just has it. I really do. I am surprised how far ahead. I didn't think Verstappen would be as far back as he is. I mean, to win 2 GPs this season is quite phenomenal when you think about it. When you see how bad the second Red Bull is, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Mate, I knew you were made for this since boxing gossip. Mate, I knew you were made for this since boxing gossip, G man. I started just after boxing gossip left. I miss boxing gossip actually. That was every now and again someone mentions him. And do you know what the funny thing about boxing gossip was, right? I loved watching his videos, but I distinctly remember always disagreeing with him because he could never. He was great at like seeing flaws in fighters, but he focused too much, I think, on flaws in fighters because he was adamant. Lee Selby would school Josh Warrington, and I was like, nah, Josh Warrington beat. I wasn't doing videos at the time, but I was like, nah, Josh Warrington beats Lee Selby. Lee Selby ain't that good. He was adamant that Suisse gets Sorun Vasai was just a joke and that Chocolatito wasn't that good. It's like, hang on a minute, Vasai is a really good fighter. Even before he went in with like, this is a good fight. This is a really tough fight. And Gonzalez, that's blasphemy to say that Roman Gonzalez is not that. You don't say that in my presence. You just don't do it. Obviously, I wasn't doing videos at the time, but you don't do that. He does deserve his world title shot. He definitely does. I do. I actually agree. I think Caballero has a much better chance against Oleksandr Usyk. I do. Oh, it's going to be difficult, man. It's going to be difficult. I didn't really see much of a way back after the first Usyk fight, but he proved me wrong. I mean, like, he's young enough, but Dubois is how do I say it? He's made different, and I don't see how you fix that. I really don't, to be honest with you. I really don't. Tio versus Shakur is a fantastic fight. I'd love it. I don't think Tio wins. I don't think Tio wins. I think that style would just be hell for Lopez. Oh. That would be, hang on a minute, that would be at 175. There's no way he can't. Oh, Callum Simpson. That's still flipping good. I thought you were saying Callum Smith, and I was like, whoa. That's still a really, really, really good fight. I'd have Hamza Shearers in that fight. I would. I'd have Hamza Shearers winning it, but damn. That's gonna be good, man. Can't win on points. Canelo has future fights with Turkey. Yeah, but listen, no, hang on. Fury would have fought AJ if he'd beaten Usyk. Turkey talked about it. Everyone talked about it. Didn't stop the judges doing the right thing. Parker deserves a shot. Yes, Usyk probably beats him, but he deserves a shot if he retires. Fair play. But if he chases the Fury trilogy fight for more money, then that's poor and loses credibility. And I think most of us are in agreement. I mean, I certainly wouldn't have it. I don't recall ever criticizing Oleksandr Usyk ever, because I haven't needed to. But if you go and do that, yeah, then that you're going to get criticism from me. I know a lot of his fans watch my videos. I know a lot of Ukrainians watch my videos because they mention it, and I appreciate that. It's glad to know that, you know, I've got people from Ukraine watching me. They might not like it, but I'd have to say it like it is. At the end of the day, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put up with it. I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't watch it. Drug teach should be banned, one and done. I've always stood by what I say about drug cheats, that first time, a significant ban, not so significant that it ruins your career, but long enough, over a year anyway, long enough that you kind of think, okay, you've really got me for that year. Anything, if it happens again, then we need to talk about, right, what can we do? The problem is boxing there's not a universal sanction body over boxing. If you think about it, America is 50 states. If you want to go America, you go Rhode Island, you're banned in Rhode Island. You go to Massachusetts, you're banned in Massachusetts. You go Vermont, hypothetically, not that there's much boxing in Vermont. Yeah, you can fight. I don't know why I used the New England states, but they're the only ones that came to my head there. I think it's time for the British heavyweights to go to New York. AJ still has the memory out there. Yeah, geez, when's the last time a British heavyweight other than AJ went? It's a while ago, isn't it? Give Parker his shot, AJ Gab your shot. I made you millions, and millions since he could have ducked you. The baseball and America, yeah. I don't know American sports as well as I probably should. I know a bit about American football, but I don't know as much as I probably otherwise should, really. I probably don't. In fact, I definitely don't. I really don't know as much as I otherwise should. What else do we have? Again, people, if you haven't already, I'm just going to ask again, if you can pop the like button, smash that like button if you wouldn't mind. Can we take a picture tomorrow at Ade's event? You absolutely, of course, man. Jeez, of course. Absolutely 110%. I don't mind, man. Anyone wants to come up, say hi. I love all that. I love it when people, like, I've gone out on a Saturday night. I've actually gone actually flown home. The weekend of Wardley versus Justice Hooney, I was flying and I got an early flight. I flew from London City. I always fly from London City Airport back to Dublin. And I was I was going through security and I was getting my, you know, you put your security through the conveyor belt and it goes through. I'm retrieving my luggage, and some guy, God forgive me, I forgot his name, but if he's listening, he knows who he is. he was going on some golfing holiday, and it was like, "Oh, I watch your show," and here we are in the middle of London City, is just having a chat. It was amazing. It's crazy. So I'm always happy to meet a subscriber. Come over, man. Say hi, get a picture, all that good stuff, man. Yes, I don't know. Is it necessarily his fault? But yeah, he doesn't. He needs to stay active, stay because people forget you. Then Kabayela Hergovic versus Moses. Kabayela Hergovic or Hergovic versus Moses next. Hergovic definitely. Uh, or whoever vacates. Well, if they vacate, Frank is going to be absolutely seething to get a helmet in there straight away. Straight away, straight away, straight away, straight away. Uh, he's a bore and always pulled out. But if he needs too risky, in terms of him pulling out, not in terms of a risky fight. I, mate, I know he's sickly, and you got to give him the credit. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt for that because he has been sickly. It's been well known for many, many, many years. But Hughie Fury, right, made his comeback last year. I think it was last year. Oh my God. For a fighter who was defensively very, very good, for a fighter who lives you never see Hughie Fury out of shape. He looked so old, not just in terms of the face, but in terms of how he was moving in the ring. I mean, he looks shot to bits. Like he literally looks shot to bits. He's standing he doesn't his legs are gone, man. And he's in his early 30s. His legs are gone. Gone. What do you think AJ really wants to get out of boxing? More money or more glory? I would say, in spite of what he says, probably money at this stage. Probably. Ring coverage. Understand. Pivot. Boxing is chess. It isn't checkers. Here's what you call a fast ball pitch. Don't know baseballs. Don't know what that is. And obviously, I obviously have an idea, but I'm not a baseball enthusiastic. Thoughts on Walsh Vargas? Genuinely 55, both so average. I don't think Walsh is average. And it's very seldom I look at Irish fighters and think, yes, you've got something. Walsh is one of them. He's very talented. Don't sleep on him. I probably would still take Fury now. Probably just. I think he still has enough left. The body shots, though. Usyk's body attacks really wore Fury down. Kabayel is just as good in terms of attacking the body, but he's not as talented as Usyk. So I don't know. Someone asked a random question there, and I want to get to it first. I'll say where that was because I just want to stifle a laugh at this. Not you, mate, but I would not put Johnny Fisher anywhere near David Alai. I wouldn't put him anywhere near him. I wouldn't do it. Listen, man, I like Johnny Fisher. I respect the fact that he is, and I respect anyone who, how do I say it? I respect anyone who knows that they're not the best at their given profession, but they are willing to make a go of it nonetheless. I respect them for that, and I do. And I wish them the best. Don't get me wrong, but it's never been there. And the whole Bosch Essex gimmick, for me, it's just that's what it is for me. So I wish him the best, but Adelaide, I'd pick him over Dave Allen. And I know styles make fights, but I think he'd knock Johnny Fisher spark out. I really do. I think he'd knock Johnny Fisher spark out. Do you think the reason it's been quiet lately is because he's secretly planning an Atelma fight? I doubt it. I think he's just quiet because I think one of the reasons why Usyk is quiet now is just at that stage of his career when he knows the end is nigh and he's coming to the end of it. So spend as much time with your family as you can. You know, you can do a lot of it when, you're finished, but make the most of it now as well. 3-strike rule and you're done. Yeah, something like that for PED cheats, of course. Peak AJ versus peak Atelma thoughts. Well, we don't have a peak Atelma yet. Talk about peak AJ, as in the AJ who fought Povetkin, the AJ who fought, I won't really say Klitschko. When I say the AJ who fought Povetkin, I think that was probably peak. Yeah, AJ definitely. But if you're talking prime for prime in 10 years, when Atelma's, been to his peak, yeah, different story. Different story. Then it could be, then I probably would be saying Atelma most low. We need to see how he goes. Could you elaborate more on your reply you gave me at DM about who's in charge of Croke Park? Who are the GAA? Did the Irish government run the stadium? Because they mentioned them in regards to Taylor. So the GAA is the Gaelic Athletic Association, and they run Gaelic games. So Gaelic games is football, although it's not really football because you can use your hands. So that's why I never call it football. I always call football, real football, soccer, football. And I prefer soccer anyway, football. They pretty much run Croke Park. So they get the saying on pretty much everything. I think the Irish government are involved. I mean, I think they are because it's the Gaelic League. And for them to do a show, like I'll give you an example, right? They they do the concerts in Croke Park and stuff like that. But for an event like that, boxing, which is another sport, I mean, if you think about it like this, football and rugby, when have you ever seen it? Unless there's an unbelievably specific reason, as in Aviva can't work or something like that, they'll never let football or rugby go into Croke Park. And I would imagine they would charge Eddie Hearn astronomical. I mean, I'm talking insane fees because they're greedy as hell. And I wouldn't mind, but like they have Croke Park full to the rafters every season in the GA in the championship, 80 odd thousand, and the players, because it's an amateur game, don't get a penny. So it all pretty much goes into the GAA's pockets. And if there's a replay, which is why they do replays, if there's a draw, oh, they're laughing. They're always hoping for a replay because it means they get two big paydays instead of one. Why radio silence from boxers? Oh man, I don't know. Boxer are just, I don't know. I don't know with boxer. I think with boxer they've made some boo boos. It's fair to say, and yeah, I don't know. The rumor mill is that they're going to have a show on October 25th as well. Clark versus Jamie TKV is not Parker versus Wardley. It's just not do it. Right now, I think he knocks out Anthony Joshua. Mate, I live in London but have family in Malahide. I always keep an eye out for you when I'm back in Gibney. Do you know what, right? I don't really go out. I don't really go out at all when I'm back home in Ireland. I tend to never. If you ever are in Gibney's, you can ask the barman. His name is Cormac there. I just know him from, he used to run the bar in London. Kind of stoutish lad. Nice guy. Really nice guy. I remember having a drink with his brother, Lorcan, a couple of months ago now, actually. He's cool, but man, he's wild. Wild. But yeah, I mainly stick to the one in London in Old Street. I go there every other, not every week, but I go there at least maybe like kind of. I'll probably go this Saturday. I won't go next Saturday because I'm home and I won't really do anything next Saturday other than watch. It's a long night next Saturday, lads, because I'm either going to go to Belfast for Donovan Crooker, or I'm going to go do a watch along for that and then do another watch along for the Canelo Crawford show. So next Saturday could be a late one, could be a long one too, could be a flipping long one. Parker's waited so long to fight. Staying busy is better. Yeah, in my opinion, absolutely, it's better. AJ Fury, Canelo, stadium fillers, giant of the sport. Who maybe have one or two fights left to carry the torch? Who is the fighter? Canelo or Fury? I don't think AJ can do the stadiums anymore unless he's got the right dance partner. Who would you make his favorite between Beterbiev and Benavidez if it was happening next, assuming they both win? Prime, easy. Beterbiev. Now, I don't know. I'm gonna probably stick my neck out and say maybe Benavidez now if Beterbiev slowed down, because you saw him fade in that Bivol fight. He was not fading spectacularly, but he had it, and then it just started to slowly go down. So I would probably say Benavidez will just work and work and work and work. And yes, Callum Walsh does have a good future. If AJ wants money, he should go for the Fury fight. That's what Team Hearn want. I think that's what they all want. That's what they all really want. Should do a team with Dwyer would be gold. That would be fun. That'd actually be good fun, actually. And by the way, 70 people in the building. People smash that like button. Well, get that like button going, man. You got to get the likes up. You got to get the likes up. Got to get the likes up in here. You got to get the likes up. We'll go for another 15 or so minutes as well. We'll see how we go on that. But I saw Usyk on the face-off just before the Dubois fight. He seemed very clever that he would be fighting beyond the Dubois fight. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He absolutely did. I thought it's a weird one, right? Sorry, hit the mute button there by mistake. So we're talking into myself there. It's a weird one. Like he knows. Like Usyk's not stupid. He knows when enough's enough, and evidently he doesn't feel like he's done. I think maybe he's underestimating how quick Father Time can catch up with you, but he knows his body, I guess. A friend of mine says his dad was up high in the UDF. Was was high up in the UDF. Who are they? I've no idea. I mean, I've literally no idea. UDF. UDF. No, no idea. You are not being greedy, mate. Mate, the chat is opened. Oh man, questions are there. Chat's opened. Do not mind. Fire away with whatever you want to ask. Chat is opened, so you can ask me whatever. You got 15 more minutes because I'm probably gonna log it off just before 9 o'clock. So you got about 15 minutes. You can keep firing the questions away, man. You can keep. I don't mind. So being greedy. Last question. Do you think Hearn is running out of hunger for boxing? He used to be so potent back in the day, mid to late 2010s. Yeah, they were really the golden days, weren't they? In Matchroom. I think so. I think Eddie Hearn is someone who doesn't have the desire, not that that's probably the wrong word, the fire that Frank Warren has, because this is all Frank Warren has, is boxing. Eddie had other things. He has the darts, he has stuff like that. He has the snooker. So Eddie has other things. And when one's kind of going, not Matchroom are certainly not done, far from it. But when it's not going as well as it used to, he can just focus on other things. I hope he gets that desire back because we need Eddie and Frank. I think as well as that Turkey coming in and kind of making them be mates has kind of hurt that a little bit because Frank still has as much desire as ever. But Eddie would live for just, getting the better of Frank. And now they're meant to be, bosom buddies. Yeah, I think it would be as well. More modern stadium fans close to the pitch. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, Crow Park is really. They would never have made Crow Park with a boxing match in mind. It would have been more the Aviva. Aviva would be. Crow Park's easier to get to because it's in Drumcondra. Aviva is like Balls Bridge. It's on I think it's closer to the south side, south of the Liffey. So it would be a little bit harder, maybe. But yeah, I would probably rather it be in the Aviva, to be honest, but you'd be better atmosphere. Are you still picking? Hell yeah. On the beer in Belfast? Nah. If I go Belfast, I'm going to drive up and drive home. So if I go Belfast, I'm going to go up for the fight, drive up, and then drive straight back home to do the live watch along. Take me an hour and 15 minutes to get to Belfast. So that's the plan. If I go up, drive straight home, watch along for Canelo Crawford used to saying Triple G. That's what I think. That's what I do. So there'd be no beers in Belfast. I haven't. Jesus, when's the last time I went to Belfast? Years ago. I used to date a girl from Belfast actually, but she lived in Dublin, so I didn't have to go up. And she was, holy crap, she had one of the Carl Frampton's accent. Imagine that times 10. There was times where she'd speak quick, and I used to just be like, "What did you say?" And she's like, "I can't do the accent, but say it again." I'd be like, "Nope, no idea what you just said." Literally no flipping idea what you just said. She had one of the strongest Belfast accents you will ever hear. You will ever hear. She's a good girl, though. She was a good girl, to be fair. Sky really effed up with Shalom. Yeah. Listen, I've heard some things about some of the F-ups. I'll go into detail. They are wild. Wild. Yeah, I thought he looked good. People were saying I thought he looked quite good. I looked quite good. Oh, right. Yeah, those. Yeah, I don't really. I don't. That's something that kind of goes a little bit over the head with me. I don't really get into the whole that. We won't go there. We won't go there with that. As I said at the start when I almost swore, and way back at the start of the stream, we monetized this stream. We monetized it. So yeah, we won't go into any of those type of things. Yikes. Have you seen the film about how do you say that? Scapcan? This year with Steve Coogan playing Mick McCarthy. Oh wow, yeah, I remember that. No, I haven't actually. To be honest with you, most modern movies. When's the last time I seen a movie that I liked that was recent that I haven't, watched in the past. Because Ade's recommended me some movies in the past that I've watched, like past movies, like from the 90s and things that have been all right. Um, when's the last kind of modern movie I've seen that was any of these? I can't remember because most of them are pretty abysmal nowadays. They really are. Fury wanted to take the test. Fury never wanted to take the test versus AJ. He only wanted Usyk fight after being offered silly money and seeing Usyk decline as well. They needed so much to get that fight made. And big up the Boxing Bros UK. How are you guys? Big up every time, lads. AJ man, what do you think about the Clark TKV fight? Think it's in November? Yeah, the rumor I'm hearing is that it's going to be the end. It's going to clash with Wardley versus Parker. The fight is not exactly captivating me, to be honest with you, mate. I can see those two styles not blending particularly nicely, if I'm honest. I could see it being a bit of a meh fight, if I'm honest. That's what I think could happen. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a barn burner and we're talking about that fight saying that was brilliant. But I think we might be seeing a bit of a you-know-whatter in that fight. Might be doing it. Don't know. Might be. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong on that one. What else do we have here? Just checking my texts. I got a text off someone that I need to go back to in a bit urgently. What's up? Big up the Fight Sport Talk, man. How are you? I'm glad Parker getting the opportunity. Yeah, man. Delighted he's getting a decent fight against the name because Fabio Wardley, I've noticed you do a video on Wardley, gets views. It gets views. So people are interested. And we definitely will, man. We've talked about it for a while, but we definitely will do one in the future. 110, 100%, 100%. Charlo was 6 foot, 168 pounds. Canelo's closer to 5'7", really. He's probably closer to 5'7". I just watched F1 average. Did you just watch the race the weekend? I didn't think that was average. I thought that race was really good. I thought the race the weekend was very fun, was very entertaining. I watched it live, watched the whole thing, didn't miss a beat. It was really entertaining. Really, really good race. Maybe that's because the races these days, some of them are just, and some of them are, oh, you watched the movie F1. Yeah. I'm going to avoid that at all costs, man. I heard a lot of people say, and I have seen this movie, and it was very good. I'd recommend it. The movie Rush, which is an F1 movie, and it's real life, well, based on real events. That was brilliant. Chris Hemsworth and some other guy, I forget his name. God forgive me, I forget his name. But it was directed by Ron Howard, and it was really good. If you've never seen the movie Rush, I'd recommend you go and watch it. It's very good, very entertaining. Netflix had it on at one stage. I don't know if they still have it or not. But the movie with Brad Pitt, as soon as I heard about it, I was thinking, I haven't watched it, nor will I. I was like, nah, that movie would, it wouldn't appeal to me, put it like that. I won't be watching it. And given the fact that a lot of people who have seen the two movies say they prefer Rush, I'm not surprised. And I just won't watch it. F1 the movie, yeah, I won't be watching it, man. I won't be. It ain't going to do anything for me. I think Usyk is retired. He just can't bring himself to say it. Klitschko Loma did that. Took them months to announce it. It's a good point, actually. Klitschko was going to do the Joshua rematch, and then he didn't. Simple as. Loma took him, a year to announce it, really? And it could well be the same with Usyk. Could well be the same. He'll want to retire on his terms. So actually, you could be right there, man. Actually, you could be onto something there, Fight Sport Talk. You actually could be. Fair play. All right, people. I am going to call it here because I have to answer quite an important text about tomorrow, and I will leave it there. But people, if I will see you tomorrow, I will. I have some videos planned that I haven't even uploaded today because I haven't had a chance to actually get it on my system. But big up to Adam and big up to Ryan for the donations, in particular the 50 quid donation. It means an awful lot to me. Thank you so much, my friend. If you are there tomorrow, Adam, big up. I will owe you a drink for that. But people, until next time, I will leave it there. I hope you have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you could, smash the like button in on the way out. We'll get another live on soon, I promise. I enjoyed tonight. It was good fun, actually. It's good fun the last hour. We will get another one on soon. Thank you to everyone involved. I hope to see some of you guys tomorrow. I hope. I really do, because we got a full house tomorrow. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. But people, enjoy it. Hope you have a great one. Just on the hour mark. So I'll leave it there. Peace and love, people.